Okay, let's try this again. Welcome in the sewing room. So glad y'all are here and you've joined me in the sewing room today. Yes, I am. Y'all have come to spend the day with me. I'm so excited. Yes, I am. And because of that, you all are here. We're going to do something fun. Fun. Something some of you all have asked me about several times. I've had lots of questions about where all of these little, some of you call them stickers, and I guess they kind of are stickers, fabric stickers, whatever, come from, and how do I get them, and what do I do? Well, I'm going to show you all that right here. Plus, it's time for us to do our hip hop. I'm so excited to do this project. I've been collecting little fabrics along with little flowers. A lot of them I've already cut out. I've used in other projects, and I've gotten this bowl right here. And I've got a bunch of things here that I've not cut out. Okay, whole stack here, like 15, 20 some different fabrics that I've got pieces of that I'm going to show you how to do this and how to cut them out so we can make our hip hop. Okay, so y'all join me over here at the ironing board and we'll get started. Okay, this right here, let me pull a piece of this off. This right here is what we use. Okay, y'all can screenshot that or whatever is best for you, but this is what you need. Steam a seam 2. Okay, that's what you need. And here it shows you how to use it. Lots of ways. You can cut it, run it through your printer. You can do all sorts of fun things with it. All right? All sorts of things. Draw on it, trace on it, whatever you want to do. Okay? That's what we use. This is the way it comes. Paper backing, front and back. 2 sides of paper. One has grids and one does not. And I do not think it really matters which one you take off. I usually just pull it and see which one comes loose. Sometimes it's the side with the grids and sometimes it's the side without the grids. And it's sticky. See? It'll hang. It's just sticky. Sticky. Okay? Then you're going to take your piece of fabric, whatever you're using that you want to cut out your little motifs of. Okay? You're going to lay it on here and push it down flat. Keep the wrinkles out of it because you don't want wrinkles. Okay? You just want to press it down there with your hand. And then you want to press it with your iron. You want to iron this. Be careful, don't get your iron over on this because it will stick. And it'll get your iron all gooey. And then you'll have black on your iron and you'll have to clean it. And I probably will do that because I typically do. Set your iron to steam. And then you've got this where you can come in here. I usually just try to iron both sides. Let it cool a minute. And then you can cut these out. The little flowers, the little hedgehogs, or porcupines, whatever they are. I think they're hedgehogs. I don't know. What's the difference in a hedgehog and a porcupine? I don't know that either. And there's these little mushrooms on this one. And you're just going to do that for all of your different fabrics. You're going to pull off one, whichever one comes off. And sometimes it has residue on it, so I just throw it away because I don't want to iron that onto my top of my fabric. I did that one time and laid it back over the top, and then the tops were sticky. And so I don't like to do that. So there you go. And like I said, be careful when you're pressing. turn that steam down just a little bit because that's a lot of steam. See, I stuck that to that. See how it will stick? You can get it up if it's not stuck real good. And then you're going to take your little tiny scissors or your big scissors or whatever you like to use, and you're going to cut around each one of these. All right, so I'm going to finish pressing these, and then we're going to go on to our next step. All right, now then, we've got all of our pieces pressed. You can see I've got a bunch. All right, now I like to take these little scissors. These are the little giant scissors. Did I leave those others laying over here? Did I move them? Or my little 7-inch scissors, and they're laying here somewhere. I thought they were laying right over there. Anyway, but I like to take these because they are super sharp all the way to the point. They're the Guggenheim. Y'all know I bought one pair and was hooked. And then the first thing I do is just kind of fussy cut around them. Okay? Just kind of like this. And you'll find that you've got more little motifs and designs in here than you really intended on using. You'll say, there's a leaf. I could use that somewhere. And you'll cut it out. So basically, you're just cutting these out just like this. Come right up to the edge. I don't always like come in here where that's like that. A lot of times I'll leave that because that's such a tiny, tiny little bit of background that I leave that a lot of times. And a lot of times I'll just kind of cut them apart and get the basics done. And then as I decide to use one, then I will come in and clean it up and cut it into the exact shape. A lot of times I'll just kind of, what I call, well, you're just kind of fussy cutting them out. And you're not really doing all the detail work. So, and a lot of people don't even do the detailed work ever. It's totally up to you what you want to do. I kind of like them when they're more detailed. And you've really just got the little motif that you wanted. Like there's a little bunny rabbit. See, isn't he cute? And I just lay him back there in a little stack. And here I've got these flowers, and they're bigger. And so here you see I just kind of get it cut out, just like that. And then if you've got some that are kind of like this, I don't have the steam seam all the way to the edge. But if you did, you could still use this one. You just cut out around it, and I could still put some more steam seam on the back of it, and it would be fine. And then you're layering. So you're kind of overlapping a little bit. So you could just overlap this top edge with other things, and that would be perfectly fine. This is all about creativity and what you like and what you think is pretty. And there are no police. Nobody's going to throw you in quilting jail or anything else You do what you like. And if you are happy with it, that is all that matters. It does not have to be perfect, because we all learn somewhere. And I'm telling you right now, this is all learning for me. I've been sewing all my life, but mostly making garments. And I started quilting about 20 years ago, I guess. I thought, I want to make a quilt. And I made one, and I was going to hand quilt it, and I was all gung ho. Oh, yes, I was. I was going to hand quilt my quilt, and it was going to be lovely and all that. And I put in about, I don't know, this many stitches, and I said, I'll never get this done. I'm done. I'm done. It's too time consuming. I just couldn't do it. I'm like, nope. So my husband's aunt, that was a hand quilter, and she did beautiful work, took it and quilted it for me. And that was Andy's quilt, and that was the first quilt I ever made. And then I made Macy one, and I never got the binding put on it. Now see here, I was going to cut this, but I'm going to cut these leaves out right here before I ever get to this rose. And then I'll cut out the rose. And it's got some things that kind of overlap it. And you know what? I'm just going to leave them on there. You can cut them out if you want to. But for right now, I'm just going to leave them on there. And I'm not cutting this out perfectly. I'll come back in a minute. I'm trying to get where I can still use these leaves. If not for this, for, to put them in there somewhere. Okay. All right. I got a bunch of things cut out. And as you can see, this I didn't cut completely out. I'll do that as I get ready to place it on there. These are just some things. Some of them I've had cut out from other projects we've done. Here's a little dragonfly. I think he's cute. We may put him up here as we go along. There's our turkey, football turkey. I don't know. We may use him. We may not. There's a cute little squirrel. Here's frog. Here's some bunny rabbits. Put a bunny rabbit and a bunny rabbit. And I've got this whole little basket full. Plus, I've got lots more over here that I can cut out. And I probably will cut some more out as I start piecing. Okay? So, first off, I'm going to take all these and put them in my bowl. Because we need to cut us a piece of not background, because it's not the background, a piece of I just lost my train of thought. What did she call it? It's not the background, it's the foundation. There you go. I just lost my word. The foundation. As you can see, he's pretty big. He's a big bunny. His name is Hip Hop. That's the name of this pattern. She's got a ton of these, and they are all super duper cute. And I'm debating on what to do. I'm going to do this, and I'm debating on whether I want to make it. I want to make it into a big quilt. And I'm thinking that possibly I will add some squares around him to make him bigger, to make the actual quilt bigger and make this the center part of it. Be cute, I think. And then use the outer squares in the fabrics that I've cut the motifs from. to kind of bring it all together that way. Or who knows, I might do something different totally. I don't know. But this is what we're doing right now. This is the step that we're at. And so for my foundation, I'm going to use what I used on our other one, on our other bunny rabbit pillow that we did. This is what I used. This is called soil separator cloth. And you get it from Lowe's or Home Depot. And you can see it's very thin and you can see through it because I can still see you all. I see you. And you're just going to lay you out a piece here. Got what you think you'll need. And this is 36 inches long. And so I'm going to cut it right up through here. And then I'm going to trace my bunny onto this. Okay. And I'm going to do that using a crayon. Just a plain old everyday ordinary Crayola crayon. That is the best thing to do this with. And I've tried lots of things over the years. I've used this stuff for lots of things. Lots and lots and lots of things. You can use it for embroidery stabilizer. You can. You can use it for this. You can use it to trace your patterns. You can use it to draw patterns on to make patterns. There's just a plethora of things you can do with this. Let me find me a crayon. I'm sure I've got some up here. Crayons just tend to draw on this stuff very, very well. I may have to get one out of the box. See, I've got a box of crayons right here. These are some twistables. I like those. And we want to just trace him onto this. Just so that we don't have to worry about picking him up later and not getting him laid back down perfectly where we wanted him and things like that. Now his eye and his nose, I will probably just cut out of a black fabric. You don't have to be exact on this as you're tracing. You want to be pretty close, but your motifs and things will come in and define your space a little bit better. Like I said, a crayon is the best. It will not rub off or anything like that. It just is very, and you can just go over it one time and this big old cottontail. See, I've slid him down just a little bit. So I'm going to come in here and draw him a little bit bigger right there. Okay. Like I said, this does not have to be perfect. You just kind of want it to, it's just your guide. Just your guide. All right, there we go. And we've got our bunny. So we can take this off. You can still see him, I hope. Can you still see him? Now then, I'm going to turn this over and I'm going to lay this down here, and I think y'all will be able to see my bunny I drew. Just like this. And by working on this white piece of paper here, you can kind of see what we're doing, okay? He's going to have to lay kind of sideways because I don't have enough room to go this way with him. And if y'all want the pattern, this is the pattern right here. His name's Hip Hop. Now then, the way I do mine is I take me a pen, just a pen. And you take this and you score the back of it just like that. And when you do that, it'll just cut that paper just a little bit, enough till you can get a hold of it. And then it's sticky. See, it's sticky. And you can lay it down here and they won't go anywhere. They won't move around. Okay? There's a bird. You may put him up there somewhere or something. I don't know. We may stick him down here somewhere. But for this one, I want to kind of group my colors a little bit. My darks and things down here. These will be real light because that's his tail. And you can kind of look at the way that she's done it here. And I'm probably just going to set that up right there to kind of have a look-see at it. I can kind of see. And up through here, she's kind of put a line, sort of, right up through there. She actually has a bird right here in hers, just kind of like that. So you can do all kinds of things, okay? But I'm kind of going to group them by colors a little bit, like darks, lights, pinks, that kind of thing. Maybe the yellows together. And that way I can kind of see, these are blues down here. There's a dragonfly. That's more of a red. And that way, by doing this, you can kind of get your colors somewhat organized a little bit. Something like that would be pretty for his tail, just those great big roses right there. Here's another bird. Some greens. It's reds, that's the greens. Just kind of coordinate color-wise a little bit. Some of them I may not use at all. And I may use a lot of them. Some of them are real tiny, and I don't think I'll be using those. So I'm going to sort these out, and then I'll come back when we start placing them. Okie doke, we're back. I've got a bunch of these little things cut out. I've kind of grouped them by colors, sort of, a little bit. These are darker blues and so forth down here. These are these larger pieces. And I've just got them in like little groups around. All right. So we can kind of see what we've got going on here and try to come up with a plan. These are very small pieces that'll probably be added on last. But we're going to get started. And we're just going to try to build our little bunny as we go. And like I said, it's still got paper on this side because that's what makes it easy to cut. And you just want to score the back of it with a pen, just like that. And then it just peels right off and it's still sticky. And you can move it about. And you want to come to the edge of this and just stick them down. And if you don't like where it is, you pull it up. Okay? So I'm just going to work on this and try to get these stuck down. And if I need more, I've got plenty right back here that I can cut. I do have lots more that I can cut. And this is what you do. You just start laying them on here and just playing, seeing where they fit and how they fit. And you want to pick some of them up and kind of finagle them around, kind of like that right here. You just kind of want to intertwine them as best you can. See, kind of like that. I hope y'all can see. I know it's going to be kind of difficult because it's kind of over here. I'm starting at the bottom rather than the top. So I know it's going to be a little difficult for you all. I'll pull my trash can over here. This one's a little different. It doesn't have a frog on it. This is my new favorite thing to do, you all. I love doing this. It is so much fun. It is so much fun. His tail, I really want to do it light colors because it's his tail. I mean, you know, it's a tail after all. Like I said, I may not like the way these lay in here. I'm trying to leave him on this white so y'all can see him. This needs a little something right there. There's a little bitty something. And when we're all done, we're going to cut him out. Okay? And then we'll do our background, but we'll do that in a separate video. Right now, we're just kind of seeing what all we've got here. And I may need some more darks. And if I do, well, I'll start digging through these fabrics over here till I find me some dark flowers or something, and I'll just kind of go from there. Do you kind of see the lines on him, like his ears? You want to make these two separate so that you have a distinct line in there. And right here, you want to make this, you know, contrasting right along this line right here so that you can see this kind of the shape of it, if that makes sense. I don't like that there, so I'm just going to lay it over here to the side along with that one. Like I said, you just start playing. All right, I'm going to work on it a little bit more. I'll bring y'all back and kind of tell you what I did and how I did it. And I'll bring y'all back occasionally as I throughout this process. All right, I'm going to bring y'all back here. I'm going to show you a little bit of what I've done. This right here, excuse me, this right here, I've got all stuck down. Okay. Make sure the mics are, yeah, it's working. All right, right here we go. These right here, I've gotten all, these are all stuck down. All this from here down is stuck down. See that? That's kind of the way he looks. Not sure I like this right here. It's too defined, I think, between my colors. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to pull some of these up and blend it up in here a little bit more. When I'm looking at it here straight on, it doesn't look that bad, but when I look at it, what you all are seeing on the camera, there's definitely a line right here. And I like this line here because this is his tail. Okay, so I like this. This is all perfect, but this is too harsh. So I'm going to come in here and take it all apart. And you can do that just like this. Look here. Just lay these over. Just pick them up and move them. How easy is that? All right, now then, I'm going to come in here with some that are a little brighter, just one or two, a few along here, to kind of blend them together, okay, with some more blues. And so let me get that done and I'll bring y'all back and we'll take a look at it. Alrighty, our little bunny's just progressing right along. We've got him a little over halfway done. Turn the mic on. All right, our little bunny's just progressing right along. These are his hands here. And I don't have all these stuck down. I just kind of laid them on there to see if I liked the colors. I'm going back a little darker here for his arm. And this one I have more some browns. There's a little squirrel. I just thought that little squirrel was super cute. And here's a little hedgehog I thought was just adorable. And I did find something for his eye. That's the center of a flower and part of a dragonfly. And I thought that made a pretty little eye right there. So it's not stuck down yet, but it's laying there because it will go on the top of whatever else I do for this part here and then on up through here. All right, so I'm going to stick all these down into place and I'm just going to keep going. Just keep going and going and going, just like that little Energizer bunny. But you see, you just kind of weave them in and out and around. Tuck this one in, pull that one out on the top. You just kind of want them all woven together. Here's just a white flower. You know, can just go up here anywhere. They make this ear a lighter color, although you don't want them to be white because your background is a light. But here's a bird. Should we put that bird in there? Right there? Maybe. It's a pretty blue bird. We might. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows what we're going to do? But we're going to start sticking down some of these. And I'll show you what I mean when I say you want to weave them in and out. Like I picked this up and I'm going to put this down underneath here like this. And I'm going to leave that. We'll just leave that kind of like that. These we've not pulled the back off of yet. But you just kind of pick them up, lay them in under, so that they all just kind of mesh together. Until you have your little bunny all decorated. Now this is so much fun. It's so relaxing. And you can just be as creative as you want to be with your pieces and everything. It's just, I just cannot describe how wonderful this is. And I've had to stop along the way and iron a piece or two and cut a piece or two out and so forth. But that's part of it. Oh, that one didn't even stick the first time. And I keep trimming on them a little bit if I don't like the way, maybe I've left just a little tiny bit of background that I won't cut off. I just come in here and trim them up a little bit. And all of mine are not perfect, but I try to get them as close as possible. Just like I said, you're just kind of weaving in and out. Then we'll get all of this on here. Put those up there. Like I said, I may have to come along here and cut some more. Who knows? Probably will along the way here. Okay, there's that little arm stuck down, and see how it shows up a little darker. But when I'm looking at it, it all really blends. But when you look at it from a distance, like the camera is showing me, this is the distinct line in here, which is kind of what I wanted because that's an arm, okay? And this right here is kind of a distinct section because that's where our line was. But I didn't like the distinctness I had down here. So I came back and I softened it up and worked on it a little bit. But I just keep pushing them down. That's what you want to do. Just keep pushing them down good because you want them to all be stuck as well as they can be so that when you pick it up to cut it out, it's easier to manage. And I've reworked this tail a time or two. You just have to play with it and get it the way that you want it to be. I'm going to come in here and cut a little more of this off of him just because I just think he'll look a little bit better. And this just fits this little place right here just perfectly. But I can tell I'm probably going to have to cut some more in some other colors, maybe a few more yellows. and oranges, golds possibly. So I can do these two distinct opposites so that you can distinguish that those are two ears. All right, I'm going to keep going, and I'll bring y'all back here in just a little bit. Okie doke. Now then, I've got him done. I hope y'all can see him. I'm going to try to hold him up a little bit so y'all can see him. I absolutely love him. There's part of his eyes I didn't have stuck down good yet. But there he is. I'm going to lay him back down. These will go on these are just some little butterflies. And they will go on when we do our next step. But we're not going to do that in this video. This was an all-day project. It sure was. Let's see what this piece is. Got a piece over there hiding that we did not use. But there he is. His ears I had a hard time with. So I ended up just getting me a piece of a printed green and then this piece here that was just a floral, and I cut the ears out totally. And then I came in and I added some pieces over the top to give them more of a collage look and feel, and I'm pleased with them. But the ears I wanted to be definite, and I just couldn't get it. And his eye, I was working on it and I had something else planned for his eye. And then I saw this in the center of a flower and I went, ding, ding, that looks like an eyeball to me. So I'm going to use that and this blue around it to kind of bring it out and make it pop. And then when we do our next step, we'll come in and we'll add lots of other things around him. But here he is. And what you want to do now is take your scissors and just cut around him. Cut really close all the way around. Just want to cut him real close all the way around. You might could have even cut him out before you even started sticking your stuff onto it. Even if you can cut right up underneath this, around that edge, that's perfect. Because you don't want this to show, and it shouldn't, because this right here will disintegrate when it's ironed as well. And I'm just going to give it a good whack here. Then I'm going to take my other scissors and come in here and go in really close, just like this, kind of up underneath, because it should all kind of stay stuck together at this point, okay? But you want to just keep pushing it down, and that steamer seam is sticky, so it will stick. It's not like some other adhesives that will not stick. So like I said, come in here and cut up under this just a little bit if you can. I'm going to use some smaller scissors. Maybe that will help. Where are my? Here they are. These are the 7-inch scissors right here. These are the ones I love this size. They fit my hand. You don't want to cut your motifs, your little things you so carefully cut out. You don't want to whack them when you're cutting this. And this will kind of tear a little bit too. But you just want to come under here and like I said, just kind of cut that out just like that. Just leave a little bit there to put that hedgehog back on too. But I'll come in here really good before we do our next step. Because I'm getting anxious now to do our next step, but that'll be in a separate video because this has taken me all day. I want to get this video done and up for you all so you have a video, and we'll do the next step another day. So y'all come back. I'll put all these together in a playlist. I'll put them all together in a playlist. So you can come back if you don't want to watch them all now. You can watch start to finish of this whole quilt and how I do it. I've yet to figure out how I'm going to quilt it. I've got some ideas, but I don't know as of yet exactly what I'm going to do. As far as quilting it goes, I'm still toying with different ideas. I still want a long arm. So if there's any long arm distributors out there that would really like to trade one or trade, a certain amount off on one or something for videos, let me know because I'm open to things of that nature. I am. So if y'all are watching this and want to reach out, my email's in the description box below. So let me know if you're interested in collaborating on long arm quilter because I really need one. I really would love to have one. And so, I'll be a first time user. So that would be maybe good for you. I wouldn't have anything to compare you to that way. So, but that's going to be all for this one. It's a long one. I think it took me forever. May not be as long for you all. But I'm really pleased with the way it turned out. Turned out just like I thought it would. Really, I knew that it would be so stinking cute when I got it all done. This is what I went by right here, and this is what we got. So I think they're very close. Very, very close. Maybe see move y'all up there. So I think it's very close and looks a lot like hers. Especially the ears. I really kind of nailed the ears once I got it together. But I love it. I love the way that this just pops out at you. This one right here. Down here are some dragonflies kind of hiding. Up here's a bird that's hiding in there. I've got a bird. There's a little squirrel hiding in there. The hedgehog. There's lots of little bunnies. There's a bunny. 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 Lots of little bunny rabbits. There's another bunny rabbit. Lots of cute little bunny rabbits. I love the way that they come together and you can kind of have little I spy. I mean, if you've got a little one, you can say, can you find me the squirrel? And they can look all through this and try to find the squirrel. They would just love that. They would really love it and get a kick out of a quilt like this for a baby. It would make a beautiful, beautiful baby quilt. It absolutely would make a beautiful baby quilt. And I'm loving collage quilting. I really, really am. I just think it is so much fun to do. And I'm loving it. I'm loving doing it. I just love it. I cannot say enough about it. So if you've never done it, it's very, very relaxing. Let your imagination go and create. That's what you do. Just let your imagination go and create. So if y'all have not hit the subscribe button, if you would, I really would appreciate it. It means the world to me. Hit that like button. That just tells YouTube that you like my videos and you would like to see more videos like mine. And it tells YouTube that this video is worth watching. And it helps to bring in more recommendations for your feed as well as put mine in others' feeds. So just kind of helps everybody out all the way around to hit that thumbs up button. And I think I've said about all I need to say in this one, except for you all have a great day or night. And I will see you all in the next one. Thanks for watching.